like to talk to you about my second spandex tail. This one is my orca tail number 1. This one cost me approximately $130, including the materials and the Dolfin monofin, which is about $130, including shipping. The materials, this was spandex, and for this one, after I had learned from my failure with the Tulip Colour paint, I used a screen printing paint where I wanted to add some color. This particular tail did not take me as long. It took me maybe 30 hours to make. The technique I used is, this one was an open bottom, meaning the spandex only partially covers the monofin, because I wanted to highlight the beauty of this monofin, which already looks good on its own. I used a clip at the bottom to hold the spandex together underneath the monofin, and so that was to hold the monofin in. This has advantages in that it is great for letting water flow. However, it was a failure in that it flapped in the water too much. It looked like the bottom of a bathing suit on somebody who's too small. So it did not look very good at all. Also, the screen printing ink cracked on the fabric immediately. So I saw right away that this was not a technique I was going to use in the future. Screen printing ink is what you will often see on t-shirts, just like this. One of my successes in this particular technique is that I started exploring the blended waist technique, where I use skin-colored spandex around my waist. Also, I started using elastics for my waist, which was a new technique I was trying. So from those two things I learned. I really did not enjoy seeing the open bottom flap in the water. Now I would like to speak to you about my third spandex tail. I call it my Orca 2. Not have such a high budget either, because it's mostly spandex. I would say it was about $350, including the monofin that cost about $130, including shipping. The materials was mostly spandex and the monofin, and I started using, following my previous failures with fabric paint, a new type of fabric paint, which is the Tulip Colour shot. The advantage of this one is that it does not require heat to set. The time it took me about 60 hours, and this one I really wanted to optimize my techniques. Another technique I used was a closed bottom technique with a zipper in order to be able to put the monofin inside. One of the new things I tried was a flat seam. One of my pet peeves with mermaid tails are visible seams. So what I did with this one is I sewed it with a zigzag over the flat seam. So instead of sewing it like this, which shows a crack, I sewed it like this, which shows less of a seam. Also, instead of using as much paint for the brighter colors, I sewed patches of white spandex over the black spandex, and I used the color shot to be able to blend in terms of color the edges. My main successes that I have retained are the use of the color shot and my new flat seaming technique.